Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network, live from the MyBookie Studios. Neil Rule, Joy Bell, Darren McCarty with you here today. And right now, as promised, we are joined by the Red Wings Director of Amateur Scouting, of course, Kris Draper in the house. He'll be honored by the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame alongside this guy, Darren McCarty, and one other guy, right, D-Mac?
Two more, Kurt Maltby and Joey Kosher, because as Wendell Clark said, right, Drapes, no wonder we were so hard to play against. There were four of them.
Yeah, the only line in professional hockey to have four players on it, and all of us we all got on the T-shirt, we all got on the poster, so it was fantastic.
But Kris, obviously the Red Wings wrapping up everything at Traverse City, and your fingerprints are all over this too, being the director of amateur scouting. So give us the rundown, Kris. This certainly these camps now, with where this Red Wing organization is, they hit a little different. I noticed the fan interaction with it. Fans have a lot of questions about it. Give everybody the 30,000-foot view.
Yeah, you know what? Traverse City. It's the way they host it for us, it's incredible. You have, volunteers that actually plan some vacation time to help out, shuttling prospects back and forth. We had the prospect tournament up in Traverse City this year. We had 5 teams, real competitive. Our Lucas Raymond, first chance for him to be in basically a training camp and a prospect tournaments. Had a real good showing for us. He didn't play the last game. Jonathan Bergman played, same thing, looked real good the first game, and then he got kind of banged up a little bit. Sebastian Kosa was up there. I would say for him, it was probably a lot harder than what he thought. It was, he went in, obviously the expectations were real high for himself, and you learn a lot. You learn a lot about these young prospects in this tournament. We always tell them going in, this is going to be the most competitive tournament that you've played in. Playing against other teams' top prospects. You're also playing against some guys that have played in the American Hockey League, some guys that are 23, 24, and they're even a couple 25-year-olds up there. So physically, a lot of these young prospects are going to be overmatched. But I thought the guys did a real good job. It was great to see Sabrango play. Jared McIsaac had a good start to the tournament. Unfortunately, he had an injury. Joe Valeno, great opportunity for him to go up there and play. Kirill the Thrill, our Russian, he had a real good first game for us. Scored a couple nice goals. The excitement was great to see after he scored his first goal. Real nice celly. And now we break up. We come back to Detroit. We come back down to Little Caesars Arena. We have a preseason game tonight. Play again tomorrow. Play on Saturday. Start getting some games and really fine tuning and getting ready for the season opener.
Talking to Kris Draper, Director of Amateur Scouting, 4-time Stanley Cup Champion, center of the grind line here. Drapes, going into exhibition season, what is it that maybe fans could look for? Are there certain guys that are going to be in there trying to gain a spot? We go into Chicago tonight, so Pius Suter, who hadn't been offered a contract there could be some revenge. There's certain different guys that you saw maybe that these fans can look out for, maybe not regular names on the lineup?
Yeah, I would probably say, the excitement level of seeing Moritz Seider. Obviously, he had a tremendous year over in the SHL. His development path has been real good. We drafted him, out of the DEL in Germany. Played in Grand Rapids due to the pandemic last year. Played the full season in the SHL in Sweden, had a great year, and then obviously went into the World Championships for Germany. That's obviously somebody that everyone's going to want to watch. Like you said, you talked about Pius Suter. Mitchell Stevens will be, he could be a real good spark plug on, as a bottom 6 forward. He can really skate. He's been with Tampa over the last couple of years, so he's been around Stanley Cup Championship teams. He's played in the playoffs. That's somebody that, a younger player that we're bringing in, and we'll have some obviously expectations. But, you want to see, Lucas Raymond when, what he can do. Over the last couple of years, he's been, a real exciting player to watch. And now he's coming into the best league in the world, and he's a great kid. He wants it. He wants to be a Red Wing. But for us, it's we're going to be patient. We're going to watch. We're going to evaluate, and he's going to have a real good opportunity. And same with Joe Veleno. These young players, they want to come in. They want to make an impression right away. Obviously, they want to be in the National Hockey League. Obviously, they want to be a Detroit Red Wing. But we just have to make sure that when they get that opportunity, that they're here to stay, and we give them every resource that they need to have successful NHL careers. These are the players that we're going to be relying on. But it's just I think for everyone, for us, obviously last year, we did have a lot of injuries. Guys were banged up a little bit. Obviously, Dylan Larkin and Bert were two guys that missed a lot of hockey for us, and getting those guys back is going to be big. But I'd say the excitement level of our goaltending this year with Greiss and Nedeljkovic, I think we have a real good combination back there. Bratstrom's had a real good training camp for us, so we're just going to give these young prospects an opportunity, give them an opportunity to play, and we sit back, we watch, and we evaluate over the next couple weeks.
Kris Draper joining us here in Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. So, Kris, I have to ask you about this because this is my guy, and this is I'm overvaluing this. I understand that. I've talked about it with D-Mac before, but Filip Zadina is the guy really that I'm watching, the number 6 overall pick. He has had some success scoring goals, and look, Kris, let's be honest. For the Red Wings, the goal scoring is something that we're really looking to see improve for this team this year. He has 14 goals in 77 games. The NHL. It's a very, very solid start. Don't get me wrong here, Kris, but is it time now for Filip Zadina to take that jump and to become, into the upper echelon as far as goal scorers for this team and ultimately in the NHL?
Well, it's what we certainly need. As you talked about, Zadina is a guy that, when we did draft him, we the expectations were that he was going to score goals, and it's just a perfect example of how hard this league is. No matter where you've scored goals in any other league around the world at any level, it doesn't matter. It's so hard to be a consistent goal scorer in the National Hockey League. But I think Filip Zadina has that. He has that mindset. Every year he's gotten better. Every year he's gotten stronger. You look at last year. Obviously we had Anthony Mantha. So he was on the power play. Filip Zadina will probably get more looks there. And the one thing with Filip is, he wants to score. He has a mindset that he wants to score. And we're certainly going to give him every opportunity to do it. And I think, when you get those opportunities, you have to bury them. You have to bear down. These goalies are so competitive. You watch games every single night. It's so hard, to get shots to the net. Everyone's blocking shots, and so it's a skill to get, not only to score goals, but it's also a skill to get shots on net, and it's something that Zadina has continued to work on, and every year he's gotten better. He's gotten more confident. He has gotten stronger, and he's going to certainly get every opportunity to be that goal scorer that we need. But when you look at our lineup, he's going to certainly be a player that we're going to be relying on to score 5-on-5 and to certainly be able to score goals on the power play as well. So I hope you're right. As an organization, we hope you're right.
Hey, Nails, I got to bring Joink into this conversation because how big, I got to take this to the Lions. So where were you for Sunday's game? And we've watched a lot of games together and stuff like that. And I think it's a blessing in disguise because of it's 3 games into this tenure. If this stuff has happened, we've had different things like crappy stuff like this happen to us. What was your initial reaction? I laughed. I went, did you see it happen live or did you see it on a replay?
Well, Mac, believe it or not, I was in the rinks. And
I don't believe it.
My phone absolutely blew up when this happened, of the 66-yarder, not obviously hitting the post, and instead of posting out, and went posting back, and I just couldn't believe it. But you know what, Mac, you're right. I think we went through a lot. When you think about 94, being the top seed and losing to San Jose, the next year going to New Jersey and getting, swept in the Stanley Cup Finals, and obviously 96 in Colorado. This was definitely a tough loss. And, sometimes those losses, really bring a group together, bring a dressing room or locker room together, and they're just going to continue to battle. And you're right, Mac. We've seen, we've gone to a lot of sporting events in this town, and I know you're a huge fan of every single sporting event that the state of Michigan has, and certainly I am as well. And we're cheering for those guys. We've always cheered for Lions, Tigers, Pistons, you name it, to be successful. And we're gonna keep cheering for them. We're gonna keep backing them. It was a tough, obviously a tough and disappointing loss, but sometimes those add character. You get a feel for what your team's all about. You get a feel for what your teammates are all about, and from there, it's stuff to rally around. And I'm hopeful that that's exactly what they're going to do.
Kris Draper here joining us at Big D Energy. First and foremost, I know you're a proud father. You have two beautiful daughters, and now you have your son that is now playing for the Red Wings, that you were put in charge of by Steve Yzerman, and said, you know what, I'm going to trust you to make the right decision for what's right for the Red Wings. How humbling was that moment for you? And then also, what attributes did you see in your son that say, you know what, I think you're ready?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Apologize.
No. Joy was asking about drafting, what it was like to be able to draft Keenan, and then, the fact that drafting your son because of that down the road, that I always say we haven't had a Draper, McCarty, Maltby, or Kosher in the lineup, so this might be the next one. He was wondering what that experience was like drafting your son, because obviously. Yeah. People don't understand. It's not like, we're just going to pick him. It's right. He earned it.
And then on top of that, because you had people on your back about it, but when you spoke with Steve Yzerman, he put it in your hands and said, listen, I trust you to make the right decision for what's right for the Wings. And so how humbling was that for you?
Obviously, I certainly, appreciate that question. You know what? Keenan, he put himself in that situation. The way, our draft works and the way our scouting staff is set up, you have area scouts, and we have a couple area scouts that are in Ontario. They watched Keenan play. His 17 year when he was 17 years old, playing at prestigious St. Andrews College just in Aurora. And you know what, he was he put himself in the rankings at NHL Central Scouting. He put himself on our list, and as the draft was going on, we were kind of looking at our draft board of where we wanted to go, and we had the conversations about drafting Keenan. And for me, it was an absolute honor, for not only being the director of amateur scouting to be able to select Keenan, but obviously a real proud dad to be able to do that, and to have the support of our amateur staff. And the one thing I know about Keenan is he's going to do everything he can. He's going to max out everything he can to pursue his dream, just like I did, just like Mac did, to play in the NHL. It's all that he's ever wanted to do. He's had a couple great summers training. We always talk about prospects, getting bigger, stronger, and faster, and he's certainly done that. And I'm very happy for him that he got blessed on my wife's side of the family with the height factor. I know Matt had some fun with that. Yeah. But he left here. He was 6'2", weighed in at 199 pounds. So he's certainly he's getting big. He's getting strong. He's playing out in the BCHL for the Chilliwack Chiefs. Their season starts actually a week from tonight, and he's really excited about that. I think they have 3 more preseason games before they get going. So, it's and when he's home, he loves it. He wakes up in the morning, whatever time he has to be at the gym. He's down at the rink, enjoys being on the rink, and he's just a player and a prospect that wants to get better. So I've never had to tell him or motivate him to get going. He's self-motivated. He believes in himself. There's obviously a lot of work to be done before this does happen, but he enjoys it. He loves the game. He has a passion for the game, and I think that any athlete in any sport, if you love the game and you have a passion for it, I think you're going to get better and you give yourself a chance. So that's what I'm certainly hopeful for, and looking forward to him having a big season.
Wrapping up this conversation here with Kris Draper, the Detroit Red Wings Director of Amateur Scouting. And Kris, I do have to ask you about this before we let you go. This weekend, as we talked about earlier, you'll be honored by the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame as a Michigan treasure, along with the rest of the grind line. And Kris, I do have to ask you, because D-Mac and I were talking about this, there was a little bit of controversy. We didn't know if you were going to go in as a pickleball player or as a member of the grind line. I understand you're a legendary pickleball player now, so will you go back into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame later as a pickleball player, or just what is? But seriously, what does that honor mean to you to go in with the rest of your teammates and to get that kind of recognition?
Well, I just put myself in a conversation with Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders as a two-sport athlete. Something I'm real proud of. You know what? Obviously when we got the call, I know D-Mac has touched on it, going in with Maltz and Joe Kocur. It's a huge honor. For me, unfortunately, I won't be there Friday night. I had a trip planned. I'm going out to beautiful Brandon, Manitoba, and Winnipeg, Manitoba for a scouting trip. Something that unfortunately I have to stick to. But I know the grind line is going to be well represented with Mac, Maltz, and Joey. But for me, it's something that's so proud to be a part of. I honestly believe this is where I grew up. In Detroit, being a part of the Detroit Red Wings, and I know for myself and Mac, Maltz, and Joey, the identity of the grind line is something that means so much to us. When you look back on our careers, when you look back on the Stanley Cups and the opportunities and the roles that we were able to play, we obviously embraced it. We took a lot of pride in what we were able to do. To have the confidence of Scotty Bowman to play in all situations against some of the, basically Hall of Famers and, Sakic, Forsberg, Modano, Nieuwendyk, you name it, all these players that we were able to play against was a huge honor. And just to get recognized in the state of Michigan for what we were able to do. And I said it earlier in the interview, it was just, it really was the love of the game and the passion. All four of us took so much pride, not only in being an NHL hockey player, but more importantly, a Detroit Red Wing. So to be able to get recognized on Friday night is something that's real special. It's, I am disappointed that I'm not going to be able to be there. But like I said, I know the grind line is going to be well represented by by my line mates and, so some of my best friends. And that's something, that's pretty special. We played so much hockey together. We were able to win Stanley Cups, and the four of us are still, great friends and best friends. And anytime we talk or get together, we just reminisce and we just realize how fortunate all of us were to be able to do what we did, play the game of hockey. And like I said, more importantly, be Detroit Red Wings and win Stanley Cups for the Detroit Red Wings. That's something that means so much to all of us.
Well, Kris, we appreciate the time, my friend. Thank you so much. As the season rolls on, we'll reach back out to you. You give me that Zadina update when he gets to 20 goals. We'll have you on, and we can say, hey, Neil, there you go. There's 20 for you.
Thanks for the ratings, bro. As always, you're the best. Safe travels. Hopefully, it's not.
I appreciate it. Thank
Chris.
you very much.
It's not snowing in Manitoba yet, is it?
Day, okay?
Is it snowing in Manitoba yet?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so be careful.
Canada Goose, Mac.
All right. Exactly.
Going to Lambeau Field right now. Dress warm.
All right.
All right, Kris, take care, man.
Thanks, Dales.